Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're watching Greenwave TV, alternative media television. It is, of course, April 21st, 2013, and we are updating you. I'm updating you on the latest reports, latest news coming out on the Boston bombing suspects. Of course, the older brother, Tamerlan, killed. Allegedly, his younger brother, who's now in critical condition and can't speak due to throat wounds. I'm going to get into that report in a minute. Allegedly, he had ran over his older brother during a firefight with grenades, bombs, may or may not have been strapped to his chest, all kinds of weaponry, etc. This hunt has now conveniently turned into a FBI witch hunt for what they believe to be now a 12-man sleeper cell connection. Now, of course, I reported on this yesterday. The video is going viral. Getting a lot of attention. Thank you for putting it out and sharing it to the viewing public. There was an excellent Land Destroyer report article yesterday, which was an opinion piece, but also linked to the actual sourcing that proved that the FBI had been lying to us. Originally, they said that they hadn't been following the brothers. Now they have admitted that they were at least following Tamerlan. This is according to CBS News. FBI interviewed Tamerlan 2 years ago. This has also been corroborated by the Wall Street Journal. So we caught the FBI in a clear lie and a false pretense. So basically they were literally lying to the American people's faces, selling us on bullshit. And as I said yesterday, this brings us to two conclusions. Either the FBI is grossly incompetent as a terror prevention unit and actually failed and gets an F, gets a big, giant F in terms of a score, in terms of preventing terrorism from striking here in the United States, killing three people in Boston, dismembering dozens of others, or they were directly involved in this and have been involved, which I believe to be the case. That is my opinion, in this manufactured cover-up, which could turn out to be bigger than September 11th, the Oklahoma City bombing. Of course, I mentioned the many cases, the many declassified, now proven factual cases of the FBI's involvement with these plots, how they get involved. One of the most recent examples was the underwear bomber, which has later come out and is now a fact, that they actually, the FBI, that was a manufactured, foiled bomb plot that the FBI carried out and had orchestrated behind the scenes, was not a legitimate act of terror. Also, the example we talked about yesterday, which was also cited in the Land Destroyer report, was the example of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, which again, the FBI was behind. That is now declassified truth. That is not my opinion, nor is it a conspiracy theory. So, damning evidence, and thank you for getting that content out. The FBI now clearly admitting that they had been lying to us, that they've had a connection, at the very least, with the brother. This has been corroborated by the mother, says her sons have been being followed for years, says they were set up, says it was staged. This was also corroborated by the aunt, the father, who was in tears. Now the FBI, now I want you to think about this for a minute. If the FBI is in on it, again, if this is a mob run style conspiracy / cover up, now they have the opportunity to go change the evidence to basically prevent the American people and the public from getting at the truth. If we were doing the right thing here, local law enforcement, now because there is probable cause, and it takes organizations and news organizations like ours here at AMTV to actually get this information out to the viewing public. Nobody else will do it. There's enough corroborating evidence and probable cause for local law enforcement to storm every FBI office in the United States, to storm the Pentagon, the CIA, and actually clear them from the investigation process themselves. Because if they're dirty, if the FBI is dirty, that means they can't be trusted, and we can't trust anything they're saying. They just lied to us. That was just confirmed. CBS, Wall Street Journal confirmed that. So you have to understand how important this is, and how incredibly dangerous it is to allow the FBI to continue this investigation without some kind of watchdog or watch group overseeing this and taking it over. That would only make logical sense, but of course that is not happening. Now they're conveniently, which may or may not be the case, linking it to a 12-man sleeper cell They want us to believe, expect us to believe now. This is all over CNN, MSNBC, Wolfie Blitzer. You know how I love Wolf.
Hey Wolf, hey boy, how you doing there? Nice little fuzzy beard you got there. You've had the worst news reporting over the past couple of weeks. You linked it to the wrong suspects.
I mean, it's been a joke. CNN should honestly just fold, declare themselves an incompetent news source and just go out of business right now because they have failed on so many levels. They switched their story twice on two different suspects that now mysteriously have been pushed out of the country due to national security. It's a total joke. It's a total unbelievable joke. But here we have now the FBI, which we don't trust and that I don't trust at all, which I thought was funny watching the CNN anchors today saying, we always give the FBI the benefit of the doubt here. And I'm thinking, actually, no, we don't. We don't give them the benefit of the doubt at all. In fact, they just lied to the American people. That was just proven within the past 24 hours. That was a breaking story that I put out in the previous video. So no, we don't give them the benefit of the doubt. They have no reason, we have no reason to give them the benefit of the doubt. They have a historical track record of being involved in these terrorist acts, in these manufactured staged terror events. And we know for a fact that they just lied to us. So we do not give these people the benefit of the doubt. I also saw Lindsey Graham. He was speaking along with another senator saying that what this shows is not an incompetence of the FBI, but that we need to give them more power. So they're already using it and constructing it as we need to give the FBI enough power, like the Patriot Act and the fact that they can wiretap our phones, dig into our social media accounts illegally and do all these kinds of things since has been the protocol post-September 11th isn't enough. So they're already using this as a power grab, again, for more authoritarian control to create a bigger, larger, more comprehensive police state. This will be bundled in with Obama's gun control bill, etc. It's already being politicized for that reason, and it's been the political agenda from day one, which is why people like me who are involved in run an alternative media outlet like AMTV got a very bad impression and a gut instinct that this was a false flag staged terror attack. The second, not minute, the second the bombs went off in Boston, I called bullshit on it, and we were one of the first organizations in truth-seeking companies and news outlets out there to do that. But what I also want to talk to you about today is there's a few other things that just clearly don't make sense. Here I'm looking at an article from the Mirror. It says Boston bombers, FBI hunting 12-strong terrorist sleeper cell. Something that doesn't make sense is the picture here that I'm going to go to showing the younger brother who's 19 clearly getting out of the boat without any injuries. I mean, take a look at the picture for yourself. Let me zoom in here. I mean, do you see any injuries? He's clearly getting out of the boat. He's either entering or exiting. We don't really know from the photo, but we're assuming he's exiting. Doesn't really matter. He doesn't appear to be injured to me. He's getting out on his own will, using his own body strength. So he does not seem to be injured at all, which seems to conflict with the official story that he now has throat wounds, which I find, quite frankly, kind of funny and extremely convenient, and also just brings more hilarity to this whole bullshit fiesta that we're getting from the mainstream media. You know, I mentioned to you I'd be very surprised if this younger brother got out alive, because obviously they don't want him to talk. Well, it turns out they got him out alive. He's in critical condition, even though he's getting out from his own volition here out of the boat, which makes no sense. But he now conveniently, here's a picture of him later on the ground. He looks a lot more bloodied here. He conveniently can't talk. I want you to think about how damning this actually is. Again, this more probable cause here. Boston bomb suspect cannot speak as doctors treat throat wounds. So they've got him, everybody. He's alive, but he can't talk. And we're expected to believe that he can't speak. Again, I told you they wouldn't want him alive because they wouldn't want him to talk. Now they've got him alive, and he can't talk due to throat wounds. So I call major bullshit on that as well. That does not make any sense. And again, there is probable cause, of course, that the FBI is dirty and they're in on this whole story, and they have been from the get-go, which they just admitted, according to CBS and the Wall Street Journal. We can't trust a god darn thing that these people have to tell us. So this is an ongoing investigation. I'll be bringing you the investigative reports, any latest news, breaking content that I think is relevant. I also wanted to illustrate to you, and this was a video that I'm very surprised isn't super viral, so please help make it super viral, and we'll play this for you here in a minute. I want you to keep in mind that there was only one individual, allegedly, the younger brother, who was on the loose in Watertown in the Boston area. And there was a complete militarization of Boston, a complete lockdown, a police state. I talk about this all the time. The federal government, again, they'll just bypass the Constitution, bypass the Fourth Amendment for illegal search and seizure. It's exactly what they did a few days ago. And the American people love this shit. I mean, a good portion of America is cheering right now around college campuses and in the Boston area. You've got Major League Baseball players dropping the F-bomb at the opening of their game. And people think it's great. They think that it's a good thing that an entire city, and in a certain respect, an entire country was shut down due to only one 19-year-old person on the loose. One person. Just one person. So this gives you an idea of what our country would look like if, say, there were actually, let's say, 12 terrorists on the loose. We would have a complete war zone in every city and town throughout the United States, and the government, along with the police force, Department of Homeland Security, DHS, etc., would just lock everything down and completely bypass your constitutional civil liberties, your rights, etc. Let the video here speak for itself. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so I'm not going to play the whole video for you. I'll provide a link and you can watch it there. But this just goes to show you, I mean, here you have an innocent American, presumably, they're forcefully raising his hands, invading his property, bypassing his constitutional rights, the Fourth Amendment, which says that they need a warrant to enter your home, otherwise it's illegal search and seizure. This is what Nazi Germany looked like back in the day. This is a Nazi Germany style, we're going to enter your home against your will, put your hands up, or we're going to effing kill you. So, to me, I find it unbelievable that Americans are cheering this, that they think that this is a good thing, that there was an entire city on lockdown, showing, in my opinion, again, gross incompetence of our police forces, special forces. They had to lock down an entire city for one terrorist. You better hope and pray to God that we do not have another terrorist event like this where, let's say, there's more than one person. Because if there was 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say a dozen bombs went off across America, you would have a complete totalitarian police state in every major town and city. Which just kind of frankly shows me, whether or not you believe this whole story is a conspiracy, FBI fronted or not, doesn't really matter. It shows really in the big picture the gross vulnerability of the United States, which clearly can be taken down with one clean, easy stroke. Just one simple terrorist event that was well coordinated, a lot better than what we saw in Boston. Now remember, the FBI is now telling us that this is connected to a 12-man sleeper cell. This is counter to what the Boston mayor had originally told us, says that he believes that the bombing suspects acted alone. Boston Mayor Tom Menino says information he has indicates that the suspects in the Boston Marathon bombing acted alone. So that's a complete conflict of the original report. Again, I find this very troubling, very scary. There should be a full frontal attack and investigation. The FBI should be relieved from their post, along with the CIA, local authorities, and the local police force, or any independent, non-corrupted, or at least no probable cause linking them should take over this investigation and be looking at this. There are too many unanswered questions. And again, to me, this is a smoking gun. This is about as bad as it gets. I've never seen so much corroborating evidence to link the FBI to blatant, upfront, in-your-face, hard-hitting terrorist activity in my lifetime. And I think that this will prove to be, and could prove to be, bigger than September 11th, bigger than the Oklahoma City bombing, especially as we learn, more that's developing and we'll track this story again as best as we can and bring you the latest updates. Please share it. I'm Christopher Green, hard-hitting and in your face. Peace.